overcoming fear and finding your own voice. So you don't need to show up as an influencer. You don't need to cry on camera. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to understand how you express yourself online. What is your voice? And that will develop with time and that will change, but understanding what you feel comfortable with. What is the way that works for you now? Because even though we want to push a little bit and get out of the comfort zone, we don't want to push too hard. We don't want to perform in a way that's not authentic to us. So that's a key thing to keep in mind. And then let's go to understanding boundaries. What you're gonna share. Understand where is your limit. For me, for instance, I share a little bit about my kids, but I don't share much because I find them really cute. So if I was to put every picture that is like cool to me, would be a bit too much. I love cooking. I don't even put anything of that. I actually cook pretty much every day. I do a few sports and I started surfing recently, which I want to talk about it eventually, but just didn't have the space and time. I don't share like when I go for a gym because I feel like all these things, if I'm just sharing a picture or something without really developing on it, is a bit empty. And I also have my boundaries. Sometimes I do share when I go out or with a friend or something like that. But on and on, I'm much more focused on the work, on creativity, on the things that align with my whole social media, say, personal brand. But that shifts from person to person. You can have a completely different way of going. And that's up to you, is whatever you feel comfortable sharing. You don't need to push yourself to share what is not comfortable for you or doesn't feel right. So that's an important thing. That said, with what to share, what not to share, I have shared very vulnerable things online. I shared about the miscarriage that I had because I felt like it was a topic that no one really talks about it. And it really had expanded my perception in so many ways about myself, about life, about creativity and how to find beauty in it. So I thought that that could inspire someone or be just good for someone that may be going through the same thing to lean on. So that's why I did. And then in relation to understanding yourself and when you want to do things and not. So we all have personal cycles, and as females, we have our own personal cycle too. So what I want to get to is like understanding yourself and knowing yourself better will help a lot. So in my cycle, there are times that I'm super social and I like talking and I'm happy to catch up with friends, to do things and to talk to camera. And there are other times when I'm in the end of my cycle where I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm not feeling good about myself. I don't think I look good. So I'm not putting face to camera or recording a workshop if I have an option, and I do have an option, when is not the best time in my cycle. So understanding your personal cycle and your menstruation cycle, if you are female, that's absolutely like key to get more comfortable and to do the most of it in a way that works for you. And noticing your like day cycles as well. Would you feel more comfortable doing that in the morning? Or for you more like an afternoon person? Or do you prefer going like and doing some exercise so you move your body before you do something like that? Or just the exercises that we spoke about before. EFT, breath work, and some somatic movement can do a lot for you. So understanding where you feel more comfortable, so then you can really find your voice. And I'm not just saying that when you show into camera, because either if you are like doing a voiceover or writing a caption, your energy and your mood gonna pass through the words that you're putting down or what you're saying in that content. So just be mindful of that and try to be selective to actually have your best self in that moment, mainly when we are starting, because it's this exercise of getting confident. So if you're doing when you're feeling better, it's much more likely that it's much, like that you be happy with what you're putting out. If you're feeling unwell or not your best self, it's likely that the content going to reflect that. So keep that in mind. And then I'm going to read these ones so then I have exactly what we have in writing there. So permission slips. So if you're journaling and if you're following that clarity journey of answering those questions and all of that, let's write those ones down and you fill the gap. I give myself permission to show up as whatever works for you, as an artist that I am, as a creative, as a painter, as whatever that works for you. I give myself permission to share even when I'm not feeling my best self, even when I'm unsure about what I'm creating. So put what works for you, because you can go back to that later on. I give myself permission to grow at my own pace. That's really important because it will change from person to person, from moment in life to moment in life. So they are like not affirmations, they are intentions. So that's important for you to pause and really see what is coming for you and to you in that moment in time. And that's likely to change. So, and the other thing, visibility agreements. Let's pick 2 or 3. So I show up as I am, not who I think I should be. That's huge because we have this perception that I should be like this or like that. And many times as well, when we're starting, we really want to show, I hear and see that with many other friends, as if we were already there to have that validation. And that's okay, but understanding that where you are is where you are. And the tendency is just to keep evolving and growing. So there's no real rush. You're going to get there. Don't need to pretend that you are somewhere that you are not. Post even when it's not perfect. That's something that I've been working on and I'm still working on. Being okay. Sometimes there are little glitches that happen. I don't need to delete the post because there was a caption that didn't come right, or because the angle is not exactly what I wanted. Just be okay with it. The polished content that used to perform well back then is not the thing that people want to see anymore. Because as you know, there's Photoshop, there's so much fake stuff, AI generated images and product shots that are so cold. People want to see real things. You know, like people are tired of this fake, pretend, super styled kind of photos. People want real things that make them feel something, that look real and natural, and sometimes raw. So there's nothing wrong with doing photo shoots and organizing and styling. I love that too. But being okay with not everything being like a cover of a magazine kind of shot. That's not what social media is. When I see someone doing well, let it inspire me. So they can, so I can. So that's the vibe. You see someone that's doing well in your area, in another area, just get inspired by them. If they got there, they started somewhere. We are all different. We all have different skills, different abilities, but let people that are doing well be an inspiration so they can expand your perception of what is possible. Because that's huge. And our belief system really needs to see that something is real, that something is possible to believe. So the more you see people that are inspiring to you, you follow them, you understand their story, their journey, the more your belief system will start rewriting and believe that that's possible. So even here, you are now listening to my story, what I've done, how I've done. You can see that I'm just a real person with real emotions and feelings that is not always getting it all right, but I'm doing my best and understanding that my best change. And over time, when I look back, when I think where I started with my ceramic journey, I never thought that I would be where I am now. And from where I am now, I know that there is a lot coming in my journey. And I can have a better picture of where I want to go, but I can't guarantee where I'm getting. I just can give the best of my ability here and now to make it happen. And it's so far mind-blowing. So, I don't know, just give yourself permission to believe that's possible and to believe in yourself. And I think to close, just write down, have a little bit of time to get clarity on what you feel comfortable or not, and just make a list of things that you would be comfortable to post that you haven't been posting, or things that you'd like to put out there. Because having that little list is very helpful as we keep going on the next chapters. So I'll see you in the next chapter.